Glorious day it is for us to be here in Williamson County, the most wonderful place in the world to live, work, play, worship, and raise our family. It is a marvelous Chamber of Commerce Day, a Williamson County Chamber of Commerce Day, and we're so glad you have chosen your day to be with us. We look forward to seeing and hearing from our illustrious mayor, who we have the privilege of having as our superb leader of our county. He is one reason we have such a bright forecast, and we're going to hear about that in just a few minutes. I'm Judy Hayes, privileged to be your chairman of the board, and I look forward to hearing and working with you in the future. Please rise and remain standing as Andy Baker, minister of the Barry's Chapel Church of Christ, gives the invocation, and please remain standing while Mary Beers Grinder offers our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. Dear God, we are quiet for a moment in awe and respect of you as our God. Only you are awesome. And every one of us recognize, or we should recognize, that all we have comes from you. And we thank you for this day's food, clothing, and shelter. Father, many of us weren't born in this place. We've moved here from various places in the country, and we have been blessed by living in Williamson County. Many of us didn't have anything to do with those days of building this county. Many of us have been able to move here, and we've been able to enjoy the fruits of the labors of so many. So we pause to thank you for all of those folks that made this such a great place to live. I thank you for my friend and my brother, Rogers Anderson. I thank you for his love for this place. And I ask you to bless him as he speaks today. May he remember the things he wants to share with us today, and may we be encouraged because of our time together. And I also offer a prayer for all of our government officials, that they will always be men and women of integrity and honesty. And we thank you, dear Lord, for those that serve us at this time. We pause to thank you for this food and for our fellowship time together. May all that we do glorify your high and holy name. It's through Jesus we all together pray. Amen.
It is an honor for me to serve as the Commissioner for Tennessee Department of Veterans Affairs and serve the 500,000 veterans in Tennessee, to include over 11,000 here in Williamson County, because this is the greatest nation on earth. It is the land of the free because of the brave. And I'm proud to serve along with Mayor Anderson, who serves, he is a veteran himself. He serves on our Tennessee State Veterans Home Board. So as we say the pledge together, I'm going to ask you to please pay attention to the words that we say and reflect on their meaning. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. I'd like to begin today's meeting by welcoming our new members and their guests. Today we have 24 new members since our last meeting. Several of them have joined us today, and they're sitting here at the front. Please help me welcome them, and please remember to do business with them and drop by and see them. Please join me in welcoming them to our chamber. Today, we would like to thank our membership meeting sponsors and presenting sponsors, St. Thomas Health. These meetings would not be possible without their general support. Please direct your attention to the screens for a brief word from our sponsor.
They will say it's too hard, that it cannot be done. The obstacles are just too great to overcome. To which we will say, we are different. We are children of God, more powerful than we can imagine. Clinging to what is comfortable and familiar will not serve the greater good, so we will not do so. We are missionaries, called by God to continue our century-long journey, bringing compassion and hope to those who need it most. We are visionaries, driven by our faith to reimagine the way health and wellness are brought to individuals and communities. The path is narrow, the challenge great. But if it is right, it can and will be done. They will say it's too hard and it cannot be done. And we will reply, with God and each other, nothing shall be impossible.
I'd like to thank Nancy Ains and Anna Kennedy with St. Thomas for supporting today's meeting. Also, thank you for today's monthly meeting sponsors, Marriott of Franklin and Spark Lipscomb's Idea Center. Please give them a hand of applause. Spark is an innovative cooperative meeting space powered by Lipscomb University, an alternative for off-site meetings, presentations, and cooperative events located in the heart of Cool Springs. It's a place for ideas, collaboration, and creativity that's far outside and from the business as usual. As part of Lipscomb University, Spark is also a dedicated space for academics. Here, the best in graduate degrees are offered, including business administration, information security, education, information technology management, and marriage and family therapy. Spark is an educational center on many levels, delivering the right mix of knowledge and convenience in innovative ways. From Spark, we would like to also welcome John Lowry, Lori Gunnels, and Jennifer Henry. Are they here? Okay, they're back there. Thank you. Marriott at Franklin is an assisted living and memory care community. They are honored to sponsor today the State of the Union, or State of the County. It is the Union because it is our county. At Marriott residents, they feel at home from the moment they arrive. Our staff is dedicated not only to meeting such residents' needs in their memory, but also understanding the desire for a life rich with meaningful and purposeful experiences. We also understand that with a memory-impairing illness, what remains is far more important than what is lost, which is why they embrace and celebrate everything that our residents do. This focus on each resident community has the unique ability in the spirit, heart, and soul of our Heartfelt Connections memory care programs. We'd like for you to come by their booth and pick up a mason jar of your very own from the Marriott and their family. We'd also like to recognize Brad Cullen, Susan James, and Katie Ball from Marriott. Please join me in thanking all of these sponsors. Now getting to the heart of why we're here and hearing what a wonderful forecast we have for the future and what a rich past we've had because of the leadership of our great mayor and those people like him. We turn the program over to our CEO, President Matt Largent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Judy. And I can guarantee the rest of the country wishes this was their State of the Union address today. Good morning, I guess good afternoon now. Thank you so much for coming. Wow, this is a big crowd. And I know it's no accident that you're here, and we are lucky enough to live in this great county, to have the opportunities that we have, and it really starts with the people in this room. You all are the ones that create the jobs. We help create the environment, and you are the job creators, so we appreciate everything you do to help the state of this county become great. I'm just going to share a few things before we start with the program, and actually it's a great transition into a map. This is a map that the New York Times did 2 or 3 weeks ago. Basically, they outline where the hardest places to live were in the country. You may have seen this, you may have heard about this, seen it in social media, but if you look at this map, you can see it on both sides. The counties in the dark blue are the ones that are doing better. The counties in the orange are the ones that are doing worse. And I think it's really interesting if you point out, you look at where the top 10 places are in the country, and you look at the factors used in this calculation. It's education, percent of residents with at least a bachelor's degree. You hear me talk about that all the time. It's median household income, it's unemployment rate, it's disability rate, life expectancy, it's obesity. And you'll notice that the only county outside of D.C. in the southeast that's in the top 10 is Williamson County. This is out of 3,100 counties in the country. These kind of things don't happen by accident, and they don't happen overnight. And it's the tremendous leadership in this county that makes these kind of things possible. Something else that I want, this is interesting too. If you look at all the counties that I listed there, you'll notice that most all those are suburban counties, which I think is also interesting as well. You hear a lot in the media about all the growth going back to urban areas, and that's true to a degree. You still see a lot of the prosperity in the suburban counties throughout the United States. Williamson County is no exception. The other thing that I wanted to point out to this group that I think is really important was just a small announcement by a company in Williamson County, really with just in the last 2 weeks. Video gaming technology. You'll notice it was in the Journal and Bloomberg. They were purchased by an Australian company for $1.3 billion. And the reason I bring this up is because when this happened, a lot of people who had absolutely nothing to do with this took a great deal of credit. It was sort of amazing, especially in the local press. But the one person who had the most to do with this company and the company's growth is the person I am honored to get a chance to introduce, and that's Representative Charles Sargent. Absolutely. And he's not the kind of guy that would talk about it, so I'm going to. Back in 2012, it was Charles' leadership and legislation that actually allowed this company to move their operations from Reno, Tulsa, and Charlottesville, Virginia to Williamson County. And the only reason they have the level of employment they have right now and are contributing to this community is because of Charles Sargent. And that's just the kind of leadership that you expect for him. From what he did with Columbia State and his great leadership there. And by the way, I was told to make sure I plug the groundbreaking on Friday at 10 o'clock. Everybody's invited. Shuttle start at 9, absolutely, at Centennial High for that. But Charles is just the kind of done just such amazing things. Has always been there from an economic development standpoint, is committed to this county. He's been a fantastic legislator, and it's my privilege to get to introduce Charles Sargent. Charles.
Thank you, Matt. That was not supposed to be about me, but thank you as far as that's concerned. And probably a lot of people here in this audience never heard of video gaming technology. It's one of the fabulous companies. As you can tell, they just sold for $1.3 billion, so you know it's a pretty good company as far as that's concerned. I have the privilege today to introduce our county mayor, and he really does not need introduction. So I had a bio and all this, and I just wanted to briefly go over, and I'm trying to find some things out that people in this audience probably did not know about Rogers. Now, I'm not going to make it personal, so don't get scared as far as that. But let me just say a couple of things. He was married to the late Anita Anderson. They had 5 children. And Rogers has 7 grandchildren. The one fact you may not know about him, the 8th grandchild is on its way and will be here this year. So I don't know how many people knew you were going to be a grandfather 8 times over, but we know he has a big lap, but I don't think 8 can fit on his lap as far as that's concerned. Rogers Anderson has been an excellent county commissioner, excellent mayor. He started in 1986 as a county commissioner over in the 9th District, and stayed there in the 9th District and went to the 10th District. He served as county commissioner from 1986 to 2002. On that time, 8 years, he was vice chairman of the commission. He was chairman of the commission for the last 4 years, from 98 to 2002. And then we were very fortunate in 2002, we elected him the mayor of one of the best counties here. The other thing I wanted to bring up, Governor Haslam has picked him 3 different times now to be on state boards. The governor appointed him to the State Workforce Development Board. The governor has appointed him to the Tennessee State Fair and Expo Commission. And one of the favorite jobs, and Commissioner Grinder let it out, but he's also on the State Veterans Homes Board. And he works very closely with Commissioner Grinder, and this is a passion. The veterans is a very passionate thing for our mayor. So it's with great due that I recognize our county mayor, my best friend, and your friend, County Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Wow, what a turnout. And I want the records to reflect. A few moments ago, I was asked to get up so someone else could have my seat, and it was the attorney. Attorney I gave up my seat for, the Williamson County attorney. We allow him. Today's the 12th State of the County message and speech that I've had the opportunity to deliver. And those for watching and those for here today, I say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve as your Williamson County Mayor here. And it's been an honor, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to the next 4 years. There are a lot of people here today that are elected in city, in the county, in the state, and the federal level. A lot of candidates here too. So would all of you that are elected, city, county, state, federal, and if you're running for office, please stand up so we can get, because it's important at the local level. Look around you. There's several people that have served our county over the last several years, and I want to give due recognition before I actually get into the speech. First of all and foremost is a friend is on the second floor. His office is almost directly above mine, Joey Davis. 20 years of retiring. Joey, stand up. We owe you so much. You know, several years ago, Joey twisted the county commissioner's arms and my arms about working with the state and helping to fund some of the property tax relief programs that we enjoy here. And this last year, we funded nearly $600,000 worth of funding for our elderly and for those that are in need of assistance. Another one that's a close friend of mine is retiring here in a few months, Doug Hood, his wife, Johnny Kay. Johnny, Doug, would you all stand up? 23 years. Job well done. Came to us from Florida. It's made a world of difference in the quality of life we have here in our county. We also have 8 county commissioners that will be leaving office on August the 31st. Several of them are here, but 2 specifically that I know are here I've seen, and that's Judy Hayes that did the introduction a minute ago, and Cheryl Wilson. Would you 2 stand? You're kind of special. If you get an opportunity, say thanks to those 2 and the others involved, or other commissioners involved that are retiring. There's Bob Barnwell, Mary Brockman, Arlene Cook, Greg Davis, John Hancock, Doug Langstrom, to name just a few. They've made a difference for all of us in which we live and work and play and worship here in this county. All right, the speech itself. Yesterday, the county commission wrapped up the budget process at the meeting. This year's budgeting increased $6 million. So our total budget this year is $440,951. A lot of money. That includes 1,100, projected 1,150 new students entering into our school systems. 1,150 more than graduated in May. 171 new positions in the school system and 33 new positions in all the rest. And all the employees were honored with a vote yesterday by the county commissioner with a 2% pay raise. This year's budget represents 65% appropriation that goes to the general school purpose school fund. 65%. It includes, including the provisions of our SROs. I'll have to change this, Diane. Our continued funding of all of our SROs in our public schools, our Franklin Special School District. The remaining 45% of the budget goes to everything else we do, the operations, law enforcement, public safety, the court system, landfill, highway department, all the elected in the county, all the appointed positions, all of that's funded within that 34%. And when you break out the 34%, which is a number, 35% is the number that we've been working on for the last 12 years to get to that number. And when you figure the 35% of the $440 million, out of that, we pay the debt for our schools. And so the rest of county government runs on 27 cents on the dollar. In other words, conversely, every dollar that you pay into county property tax, 73% of that goes towards our schools, and the rest go towards our public education. That's why they move here. That's why you moved here. And we're proud of that. And thank you, Dr. Looney, and all the school board members for making that happen. And the good part that you always like, there was no tax increase yesterday. We set it at $231,100 again. Recently, Smart Assets reviewed the quality of public service in each of our counties throughout the United States, and they compared them with the property taxes paid per capita and created a metric to show where the county residents get the most and the least for their tax dollars. I'm proud to say that Williamson County was ranked 10th best in the United States for the best value of your property tax value. We were the only one in the state of Tennessee to make that list. Currently, the dashboard for Williamson County looks like this. There's our seat. All right, I had to do that for Laura. In all seriousness, the dashboard for Williamson County reflects the following. We're the fastest growing county in the state of Tennessee. We rank 56th fastest growing out of 3,143 counties in the United States. We are the #1 in health outcomes, factors, behaviors, and this month we received the designation from the governor's office and the Foundation for the Health and Wellness for our county. Tourism in Williamson County, it ranks 6th in the state. Through the marketing efforts of the CVB and the leadership of their board, tourism dollars have an annual impact of $358 million in Williamson County. That's $424 for each household in savings every time somebody comes to town and spends money. Our Williamson County Library received Best of the Show Award this year by the American Library Association for the first Academy Park Press publication of Bucky and Bonnie's Library Adventure. Congratulations. Through the efforts of all of our law enforcement throughout all of our cities and counties, we enjoy some of the lowest violent and property crime rates in the state of Tennessee. And in May, which is the latest figures that I have, we had one of the lowest unemployment in the entire state at 4.6% unemployment rates, almost unheard of. With the efforts of the economic development team at the Williamson Chamber, we're currently ranked as the 16th fastest county in job growth. I want to say thanks to Greg Sanford, I know he's not here with Tractor Supply, for leading the Williamson Inc. Economic Partnership Program, and to the businesses that have come on board with this special program and the inaugural strategical growth program that's being initiated. The current budget, and this year's current budget reflects an increase in revenues. Now this number I want you to grab. If you have a $400,000 home, we tax at 25%. So 25% of 400 is $100,000. So when I give you this number, take it and just think about it a minute. In 1 year, since I was here last year, that 25% number has grown $300 million in 1 year. The total value in Williamson County is only behind Shelby, Davidson, Knox, Hamilton, and we stand at, our current level of funding on this is nearly $9 billion worth of values in this county. Congratulations. You know, all of this is not possible without the other cities and their participation, and we have two cities, Brentwood and Franklin, I saw Ken Moore here, that enjoy a AAA bond rating from Moody's. And with the county, we've not only maintained that, that's the highest rating you can get on the financial market for rating cities and counties. Congratulations. Now I want to shift and go to a few I want to shift just a little bit to some other things that I think you'll enjoy today. You heard the Commissioner of Veterans Affairs say that we've got over 11,000 veterans. We have 11,136 veterans. If you get much closer, I'll let you do this speech. If you're a veteran here in Williamson County, would you stand? If you're a veteran, go on, stand. Look around you. To show our continued support here in Williamson County for our veterans, effective immediately, all veterans, and I mean all veterans that have served, that are on active duty, that are disabled and honorably discharged, and with proof of your DD 214, if you're a veteran, you'll know what that means, all veterans and their spouses will have free admission to all parks and recreation. That's a big thing. It's the least we can do to show our respect and our honor and appreciation to those men and women that are served or have served and retired. I think it's the right thing to do. Secondly, it's important to note what we're going to do in the following budget year. The cities and the counties and the state have got to find better ways to address some transportation issues. I know none of you had any problems getting to and from to this place today or going home late today, but we're going to try to address some transportation issues. And let me explain why we're doing it this way. This is not in the notes, Ashley, so just hold your shot. In the cities and the counties and the state, and John Shore couldn't be here today, state works on state projects, cities work on city projects, and counties work on county projects. I'm talking roads. Counties can't come inside the cities and work. That's a no-no. Cities can't go out into the counties and work. That's a no-no. These are laws we can't do. So yesterday in the funding mechanism, we're going to dedicate $350,000 earmarked coming out of county general funds, which simply means to all the accountants, the counties and the cities now can sit at the table and start planning and developing these strategies so that we can help with some of these issues. It's not the amount of money, it's that we're all at the table together trying to figure out how can in the world we fix some of these problems coming down the road? So it's a first for us, and I'm proud to say I'm right there with you now, Eric, and the rest of them over here in Brentwood. Let's talk about some different things that are coming up in county, and you'll see these pictures. Under the leadership and the oversight of the Public Safety Department and Bill Jorgensen and Mac Purdy, who's in our, and Molly Coulter, we broke ground on the new Williamson County Public Safety Building consisting of 53,000 square feet. The facility will serve many purposes, including the home for our Emergency Communication Center and our Emergency Management Team. It will include facilities for emergency medical services, training room for all of emergency response and law enforcement staff and volunteers. We made other investments yesterday in public safety and infrastructure. We're purchasing the building on Downs Boulevard. It used to be referred to as the LoJack's building. That's going to be a permanent home for our emergency medical team and our rescue squads from 5 Points. That's where once we finish working and getting the job done that we need to out there, they'll be relocating to that to help Franklin out with some congestion down at 5 Points, so they have a new home as of yesterday. And we're able to keep all of the ISO ratings. That's important if you have a home here in Williamson County. That's how your premiums are based, and we'll keep that in that 5-mile radius for the majority of these residents. We've also secured property along the Goose Creek bypass in southern Williamson County for the future construction of a new rescue squad facility. We'll have our ambulances there likewise, but eventually we've got to start serving that area, and that's the best shot we've got. That's next to Macklemore and Goose Creek, as you can see. We just own the land. We'll start the processes here in the next few months. Our solid waste director, Nancy Zion, and her department are currently constructing a pilot sale for a new project. We're going to try to adapt and build a sustainable landfill. It's a unique project and allow Williamson County to handle the waste and the leachate on site, saving us money in the process. We think it's the way of the future. Our Williamson County Archives and Museum, under the directorship of Amy Saunders, we're seeing a record number of visitors come to our facility. Come on down if you don't know where it's at. It's at the intersection of 5 Points. It's directly across from the post office. This time, this last month, over last year, she's increased attendance and visitation in 1 month, over 100% of people coming in there. It's free, it's about your history, it's about my history, and it's got lots and lots of material for you to enjoy. Come down and see it. She's working with several of our schools, working with Columbia State and Thomas Flagel to develop some programs and curriculum for our children to understand a little bit more about Williamson County and Franklin and all of our surrounding areas. Here's one that's kind of amazing if you are into animals. We have a new director who's been with us a little over a year named Laura Cheverria. Stand up, Laura. I don't do this very often. In one year, we have a new term. We call it the save rate. The old way was euphemism. We qualified over the last couple of months to finally get the definition of a no-kill shelter. Our save rate was 92.85%. A lot of reasons for that. We're in the hunt. We're trying to win the Rachel Ray Challenge for a $100,000 grant, but everybody's excited about trying to win this grant. It's put us on par, and I think we just have a real good chance of doing that. Eddie Hood, our road superintendent, is not able to be here, but I know some of the other men are. And we contracted this past year with Collier Engineer and Hawkins Partners, and we're making improvements to a county road that's picturesque to our community. That's Natchez Trace. Notice how it's fading in and out? Well, that whole road, a couple of miles, is being addressed with details. It's one of the oldest roads in the state of Tennessee. We're going to do a new paving method. We're going to take the dirt, take the gravel, we recycle it and replace it with asphalt all in the same step. It's a new technique that was noticed and brought to us, and we brought in some engineers to help us save and turn that area that you'll be proud, and you that ride bicycles, it will be a place for you to journey towards. Parks and Rec facilities could continue to be a top-rated quality of life amenity for our county. In partnership with the town of Nolensville, we are repurposing the former elementary school and providing a state-of-the-art community center for the eastern part of our county. This facility is scheduled to open in late fall 2014. It will be a full fitness center, outdoor swimming pool, and provides numerous programs. Cities and counties go together. We each put in a 50% share for the bricks and mortar and all the improvements. That way it doesn't cost any one city or one county too much. We've done this now in Franklin, Brentwood, Spring Hill, and now in Nolensville. It's the way cities and counties need to work to make your communities better. Funds have been approved for the construction as of yesterday for a 25,000 square foot senior enrichment facility on the old BGA campus. Home of the battleground for many, many years. We purchased the property several years ago. We're going to preserve the history of it, the character, and now we'll meet the needs of a whole new growing population. Also on that site, that's the front side on this particular picture, is our new community theater. Many of you, if you went to BGA, you'll recognize that as your library. If you went long enough, if you were my age, you'd recognize it as the second oldest gymnasium in the state of Tennessee. And we're going to repurpose that gym. And we're going to add another 3,500 square feet to it. If you look to the far left of the picture, you'll see an addition added on. So we're going to take 8,600 feet and add 3,500 feet to it. And we're going to call it a new community theater for our children, our theater programs, and our Star Bright players throughout here in Williamson County. Then if you go down towards Fairview off the Natchez Trace, you're going to see something that Judy Hayes and Nancy Conway way back in 1998, I believe, were able to, the federal government's going to sell some land, and we said, we'll take it. And these two ladies helped us to get it. We're building, that's on 74 acres. That is not just a picture, that's what's developed at right now, and we hope in the next 30 to 45 days, certainly for the 1st of October, Doug tells me, that place will be open up. You can walk, bring your children, go to the pavilions. We probably even have a few weddings out there, just like every place else we go. It'll be an award-winning facility. This next one just gives you goosebumps to think where we've come from since the flood we had 4 years ago now. Sheriff Long and I, during those laborious evenings, along with many of you others, we kind of got stranded. We couldn't get here and we couldn't get there. And we looked at each other and we said, that's not going to happen again. We need to build a better, safer place for Williamson Countyans, working with our cities. So the sheriff took that at heart, and I did too. So he's turned a $30,000 investment into a $1.4 million inventory. We now can protect the borders of our county. We can offer aid to a lot of others, and Sheriff, my hat is off to you for doing a fine job. Thank you. Williamson Medical Center is currently undergoing a facility renovation. This healthcare investment in our community will include a new wing known as the Monroe Carroll Children's Hospital at Williamson Medical Center. This marks the first time in the history that the Carroll family has authorized and supported a children's hospital facility outside the Vanderbilt campus. This is a tremendous asset to our community, and I want to thank the hospital board, the administration, Vanderbilt, and the Carroll family for this partnership because it will serve us benefits years down the road. In closing, I want to thank my staff. They're here all over. Many of you know Diane, but we have many others here. And I could not do this job without them or the other the other staff members that do the different job. They go the extra miles. We get our money's worth out of these ladies and men. You know, good things in Williamson County do not just happen because who serves as the county mayor. It takes partnerships, good staff, good elected officials, federal, state, cities, counties, all willing to work together, not worried about who gets the praise and the glory for the good of all of us. We've got it here in our county. We're very fortunate. So much better off than so many others. I want to thank you for being here today. Hope you enjoyed some of the good news. Again, it's my pleasure to work with you, and I appreciate your confidence in me over the last 12 years, and try to do another 4. May God bless this state. May God bless this county. Thank you.
I think that was our first standing ovation of the year, Mayor. Congrats. And while it certainly does take a lot of people to make something successful, what it takes more than anything is leadership. And the kind of leadership Rogers has shown over the last 12 years, and many more than that, I think it's one of the biggest reasons why we've been so successful in Williamson County, and the groups he's able to bring together to solve problems that we all face. So Rogers, thanks so much for the message, and thanks for all you do for Williamson County. I've just got a few short announcements. We're actually ahead of time, which is amazing, given the fact that we had 50 people walk up to the event, which is great. We do this every month, by the way, in case you all want to keep coming back, just so you know. Couple things. Please notice the centerpieces today in your table. It's about our business expo. It's on September 25th. It's at the factory, and I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Tennessee Media Group, and our event sponsors, Williamson Medical Center, Nova Copy, the Metropolitan Airport Authority, Vanderbilt Health, and Southwinds Apartments. The event will kick off with generational author Sarah Sladick from 3 to 4 to talk about how different generations work together in the workplace, something that really probably affects everybody in this room. Right after that, we'll have an expo and mixer from 4 to 7 o'clock. It's open to all chamber members and guests, so please join as an attendee. You can exhibit or you can sponsor, and you'll find more information about that at our expo display table. The next thing I want to draw your attention to is actually in your program today. It is towards the back. The Cool Springs Galleria is hosting a Chamber Appreciation Day where you'll get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich and a $5 Starbucks gift card when you visit between 1 and 4 o'clock on July 24th. So we'll see all of you there for your coffee and your lunch between 1 and 4 on July 24th. The last thing I want to mention is actually something that Rogers touched on about elected officials. The mission of the Williamson County Chamber is to take an innovative approach to building a prosperous business community. That involves everybody in this room, in particular people in elected office. So as you may know, August 7th is the date for a number of elections and primaries in Williamson County. It's often said that voting is not only a privilege, but a duty. Year after year, though, the issue in Williamson County and a lot of other prosperous communities is that voter turnout continues to go down. I really think it's a sign of the fact that we're content with where we are from our schools and our government and our environment. We've got it pretty well, as you heard from the mayor's State of the County address today. But I still think it's important that we get out and vote. We take our responsibility seriously. We educate ourselves about the candidates, find out where they stand, and go out and vote. There are a number of contested races and primaries and candidates with different philosophical views and political goals. So I want to make sure that you're aware of your races, you know where the positions of the candidates stand. If you're happy with your schools, your government service, the path we're on, and economic vitality, please ensure you educate yourself and vote for those that will continue our prosperous course. Early voting begins July 18th and continues to August 2nd, and Election Day again is on August 7th. Also, and this is in your program, our friends at Brentwood Homepage are hosting both a candidates forum, I believe, Thursday night for the state elected officials, and then actually for the school board candidates on July 28th at 6 o'clock at the Williamson County Administrative Complex. Actually, both those programs are at the Administrative Complex. For the school candidates forum, you can submit your questions a week prior to the event through their website at brentwoodhomepage.com. Also, I referenced this earlier, but our next lunch will be August 19th, where this will be actually the first lunch in partnership with the Premier Speakers Bureau. We're bringing in a guy from the University of Michigan who's also going to talk about intergenerational, the way people from different generations work in the workplace. So that's August 19th at the Embassy Suites for our next membership luncheon. Thanks again for coming today and for your investment not only in this chamber, but in Williamson County. 10 minutes early.